underneath the golden sky, fighting for a lifetime. But oh, my feet are slipping now, and I feel so tired. I thought that I would have the strength, but I'm so out of my element, so frozen in the moment, with flowers all around. Let go, come and claim me as your own. From now on, I depend on you alone. Unlimited, original, sweet, subtle, deep, and stuff deep, seen by the sages on Bavagate, Vasubadea, sit on the lotus of my heart. Unlimited, original, sweet, subtle, deep, and stuff deep, seen by the sages on Bavagate, Vasubadea, sit on the lotus of my heart. Unlimited, original, no more Bhagavate, Vasubadaya, sit on the lotus of my heart. Let go, come and claim me as your own. From now on, I depend on you alone. Let go, hold the flower in the air. Let go, this is my prayer.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Neighbourhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. Good morning, band. My name is Suzanne Mazars. I'm here in our sanctuary at 310 Danforth, and I have your announcements for the coming week. Ongoing activities at Neighbourhood include Spirit Choir rehearsals on Monday night. If you're interested in joining the choir, talk to me. Pilates class happens every Wednesday at 11 a.m. here in the sanctuary. That's for all skill abilities. If you're interested, you can talk to me. Our Neighbourhood Gallery has a show right now called Coping, COVID Creations with Art Made During the Pandemic. It is around the upper galleries, and some pieces are here displayed on our back wall. You're welcome to peruse the gallery at any time during the week or today after service. Join Reverend Pat Trudeau in the minister's office every Friday for 4 p.m. She's here to welcome you for tea and conversation. If you're interested in a more private meeting with Pat, you can contact her to arrange that. The Multi-Faith Picnic is happening next Sunday at Withrow Park at 1:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. with our East Toronto Multi-Faith community partners. You can talk to Laura for more info about the picnic. Thanks, Laura. On Saturday, October 22nd, we are hosting a potluck dinner here at 6 p.m. with Reverend Fred Wooden, who's visiting us from Michigan. And then in the morning, Sunday morning, come hear Rev Fred speak, and then join everyone after service for a workshop here called Hallmarks of Liberal Religion. Common Thread in the Streets is having their October rehearsal here in our sanctuary on Sunday, October 23rd, 7 to 8:30 p.m. CTS is a choir for animating rallies, protests, picket lines, and demonstrations. You can talk to me for more info. Help is needed for greeting folks as they arrive here on Sunday mornings. At least 2 more greeters are needed to help welcome folks coming in. You can speak to Luann, who sang our opening song this morning. Silent auction canvassers are also needed. Our hard-working fundraising team are looking for people to join them and hit the Danforth for donations for our upcoming Peace and Love silent auction. Luann, Britta has an announcement about that today. So, I think you need to use the microphone, Britta. No, it's for the Zoomers too.
Okay, so yeah. I just think Suzanne already did a pretty good job, so we are asking for everyone's support. Please pick up a few of our auction flyers and see if you can go out and collect a donation from one of your favorite vendors. We are looking this year for donations with a value of at least $50 or up, and also services from within our community are always very welcome for our fundraising efforts. And remember, it's our main fundraiser for the year, so we're really counting on everyone's support, not just for collection of donation, but also for rallying up support to actually have bids later on. Thank you.
You're welcome. No. Our small groups are starting this week, so if you haven't signed up yet, check them out. We have 3, and more info's on the tables in our cappuccino room. Cakes for the Queen of Heaven, English country dancing, and the Active Hope book group. So check it out on the table after service and sign up if you're interested. Happy to announce Joe Jenks and Maria Dunn are coming here to our sanctuary to do a concert on Sunday, October 30th. That's in the evening at 7 p.m. Tickets are available through Eventbrite. We've hosted Joe Jenks before as well. He sang at Pat Trudeau's ordination service. And Maria Dunn won Folk Album of the Year Juno this year. So happy to have them here to share some music with us. Hope you'll all come out. This week's question to the community: how have you found awe or meaning in the secular, in everyday life? Ponder this topic. We'll be asking you to share your reflections later on in the service. And next Sunday, our theme is UU's 15th Principle as Learned in the Galapagos. Our speaker is Peter Marmerick. Welcome back, Peter. And I will be away. Our music will be provided by Jeff Call, guitar and vocals.
Thank you, Suzanne. Good morning, everyone. We welcome you to our Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Congregation service. Thank you for joining us. My name is Allison Kabayama, and I will be your service weaver this morning. Now, we have nowhere to go and nothing else to do at this moment. So let us bring our hearts, minds, and spirits together as one as we give greeting and gratitude for being with each other. This is our threshold moment. Let's enter sacred space together. Our service begins now. This morning I've asked Lynn Evans to light our chalice, please. We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts. And our prelude today will be provided by the Spirit Band.
Thank you, Allison. The heart is a blue, shoots up from the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of love, and the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you'd found a friend to take you out of this place, someone you could lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel it.
It's a beautiful day.
Don't let it get away. You're on the road, but you got no destination. You're in the mud, in the maze of her imagination. You love this town, even if that doesn't ring true. You've been all over, and it's been all over you. It's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. A beautiful day. Touch me, take me to that other place. Teach me, I know I'm not a hopeless case.
See the world in green and blue. See China right in front of you. See the canyon broken by clouds. See the tuna fleets clearing the sea out. See the bedwind fires at night. See the oil fields at first light. See the bird with the leaf in her mouth. After the surf flood, all the colors come out.
It's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. A beautiful day. Touch me, take me to that other place. Reach me, I know I'm not a hopeless case. What you don't have, you don't need it now. What you don't know, you can feel it somehow. What you don't have, you don't need it now. Don't need it now. It's a beautiful day.
Don't let it slip away.
A beautiful day.
Thank you. Thank you, Spirit Band. Thank you for raising my spirits. I want to start by acknowledging the Wendat, Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations, who lived here before me and live here now, together with Métis and Inuit. I mention the Mississaugas of the New Credit specifically, as the treaty that covers the parcel of land that we are standing on was ceded from these peoples. And like many treaties, our governments have not upheld Canada's promises and obligations. I offer my sincere gratitude to our First Nations for their care for and teachings about our earth and our relations. I will work to honor those teachings and be reminded that we are all accountable to those relationships. Good morning and welcome. Our guest speaker today is the Reverend Joel Michael Herbert, all the way here from Tennessee. Thank you so much.
Wow.
And our music will be provided by our spirit band. Our music director is Suzanne Mazars, and Zoriah Getchell facilitates our Sunday Child and Caregiver program. We are open to many beliefs and learn from many traditions. We welcome all people to our religious community. If you're visiting in person for the first time, we welcome you and encourage you to stay after service for coffee time. Our services vary from week to week, so we encourage you to sample several to get a better feel for who we are. Our mission at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. Our theme for October is awe, seeing life as sacred. Today's theme is the myth of the secular, finding love, awe, and meaning in everyday life. Being raised by UU parents, I was blessed to be imbued with an appreciation for science, art, spirituality, civic duty, and social justice. While my parents were still alive, we knew we could always ask them our questions, like why does ice float when solids are usually denser than liquids? What is the word I am looking for that captures when we are feeling in debt to someone in need for their grace and generosity? Who is Lotta Hitchmanova? And any variety of other queries. Lotta Hitchmanova. As I prepared for this service, I thought of all the miraculous things in our daily existence that cause me to experience awe. The amazing gift of nature, the millions of worlds and millions of stars, light, water, fire, beauty found in the day or night, the life of all animals. There are too many miracles to count and comprehend to list. The endless possibilities found in our universe and beyond can amaze and surprise us, but I also think of the behavior of animals, including humans, and the miracle of loving kindness, even in times of extreme deprivation. And this beautiful chant, the Comfort Choir sings, and we have sung here at Neighborhood, comes to mind. The words are, how could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. To me, the common denominator to all these moments of feeling awe are those times when I can open my senses to all, to quiet my own ego, to really notice the grand and the unpretentious, the complicated and the simple, the divine and the mundane, in the multiple forms and feelings that abound in life. I have chosen words by Polish-born American rabbi and one of the leading Jewish theologians and Jewish philosophers of the 20th century, Abraham Heschel, who says and tells us that awe is an intuition for the dignity of all things, a realization that things not only are what they are, but also stand, however remotely, for something supreme. Awe is a sense of transcendence, for the reference everywhere to mystery beyond all things. It enables us to perceive in the world intimations of the divine, to sense in small things the beginning of infinite significance, to sense the ultimate in the common and simple, to feel in the rush of the passing, the stillness of the eternal. What we cannot comprehend by analysis, we become aware of in awe. Now, please take a moment to greet your neighbors around you. After you've greeted a few neighbors, you could turn to the camera as well on the back wall and offer a greeting.
Hi, Juliana.
Hi.
Hello, Brenda.
Hello, Susan.
Hi, folks.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Deirdre.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hello, Terry.
Happy
Hi,
Turkey
Bill.
Day.
Morning.
Gordon, I like your art. Hi, Gordon.
Oh, thank
Hi,
you.
Michelle.
Hi, all.
Hi.
Michelle and Gordon. Hi, Sigrid. Hi, Lauren.
Juliana.
Hello, Veronica.
Good morning, Terry.
Hi. Hi, Lauren. Hello, Mike.
Gordon.
Reece.
What's the weather? What's the weather like in Toronto today?
Oh,
A bit chilly, but not by much, like 5 degrees.
That's beautiful.
Now, I invite you to join me in saying our opening words, which will now appear on the screen. We know it. Let us cast the circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here. Space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life. A life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families. I'm going to invite Zoriah to share our time for all ages.
Good morning. So I'm going to invite all of the young and young at heart up together on the carpet because it's time for our time for all ages, as Allison said. So I wanted to start our time for all ages today by welcoming Reverend Joel, who's come all this way. Thank you and who's going to be talking today about finding wonder and awe in everyday life. Thank you for coming, and thank you for bringing your big, beautiful family with you. So Joel's going to be talking to us in a few minutes about finding wonder and meaning in everyday life. And for me, that means appreciating and caring for the little things in life. It means that when I pass by some bees pollinating on the side of the street, I stop and watch them gather for a while, collecting the pollen all over their fuzzy little bodies. It means that when I move some furniture back into my house from my garage and a big old spider pops out, I gently shoo it away from my door and off to safety with a leaf. It also means that I practice being grateful for things. I was pointed towards a great song for gratitude recently by Suzanne. It was written in 1980 by Raffi. It's simple, gentle, and calming, and the Spirit Band and I would like to share it with you. If you know the song, you can sing it with us. It's called Thanks a Lot. Or you can follow along with the words which are about to appear on the screen. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the sun in the sky. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the clouds so high. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the whispering wind. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the birds in the spring. for the people everywhere. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all I've got. Thanks for all I've got. Thank you. Now for all of the young on the floor, shall we go into the other room for our program?
Full of music for you today. Our guest speaker is a musician also, and will be sharing a song with us later, and suggested the two songs that we opened the service with today. But as we're discussing finding meaning and awe in the secular and in everyday life, I wanted to share with you this beautiful song, meaningful song that I learned that celebrates something very common, which is grass, and celebrates the grass. So I'm hoping you'll join me on the refrain. I'm going to teach it to you now. Let me just get my cue here. So 3 times we sing God Bless the Grass. It sounds like this. I'll have you repeat after me. God bless the grass.
God bless the grass.
God bless the grass.
God bless the grass.
3rd time, same as the first. God bless the grass.
God bless the grass.
Let's put those 3 together so it'll sound like this. With me? God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass that grows through the crack. They roll the concrete over it and try to keep it back. The concrete gets tired of what it has to do. It breaks and it buckles and the grass grows through. And God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass, the truth that fights toward the sun. They roll the lies over it and think that it is done. It moves through the ground and reaches for the air, and after a while it is growing everywhere. And God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass that grows through cement. It's green and it's tender and it's easily bent. But after a while it lifts up its head, for the grass it is living and the stone is dead. And God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass. God bless the grass that's gentle Its roots, they are deep, and its will is to grow. Then God bless the truth, the friend of the poor, and the wild grass growing at the poor man's door. And God bless the grass, God bless the grass, God bless the grass, and God bless the grass, God bless the grass, God bless the grass.
Thank you. This is a unique time in our services when we invite you to question to the community. We saw it before, but I'll repeat it now. How have you found awe or meaning in the secular or in everyday life? I can take a couple of answers here in the sanctuary, and then I will also remind us of the question at the end of our service so that you might take it away and consider or discuss during coffee hour. I'm not going to ask online just because I'm mindful of time because we have a lot of music today. But does anyone have anything that they'd like to share? Yes.
I just want to just share briefly that yesterday I went to my friend's 60th birthday. Rode my bike down to the park and to the lake. Saw the full moon on the water, swans fighting and playing on the lake. Watched my friend singing with his son. I mean, it's everywhere. So.
Thank you.
A good friend of mine, and I told her my mum's 80th birthday was coming up, made beautiful cake for her, and I'm recounting the awe that my mother experienced when she saw this beautiful cake. And just was in awe of the gesture of my friend as well to create this beautiful, beautiful gesture.
Beautiful gift. Thank you. Yes.
We were driving over the Burlington Skyway yesterday, and I happened to, just at this moment, see on one side the industrial steel mills on one side and the Hamilton Harbor, on the other side the parks, beaches, and open lake, and they seemed to be perfectly in balance in that moment, and that was sort of a very evocative picture for me.
Beautiful. Thank you. In the unexpected moments we can find, and it finds us. So now it is time for Joys and Concerns. When we invite you to share a joy or concern in your life, light one more candle for all the joys and concerns that remain unspoken and in our hearts. Now is our time for meditation or prayer. I have another chant that we've sung before, which I thought we could chant for just a minute or two, and then we can rest in silent meditation. I'm opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening. 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 Please slowly come back. So I'd like to introduce Reverend Joel Michael Herbert. He's a speaker and a writer and a recording artist currently living in Nashville, Tennessee. He and his life partner, Danny Rocca, perform together as The World in Lights, as well as on their own projects. They are passionate about building bridges between people, creating beauty, and using music and language to heal broken hearts. Please.
Good morning. I am incredibly honored to be here today. My name is Joel. My name is Joel Michael Herbert, although you can just call me Joel. And this is my second time ever at a UU congregation. It's my first time speaking, so thank you for welcoming me. My wife sends her love from Dallas. Her name is Danny Rocca, and she was on the trip with me and my kids up until last night. Her band booked a double feature in Dallas and then Oklahoma City. So we drove all the way up from Nashville, and then she flew out of Toronto last night, and she'll be back tomorrow night. So that's fun. She says she would love to be here and wishes she could be. So she actually just released a song this week. So if you look up Danny Rocca on the interwebs, give her song a stream and some shout outs on social media. I'm sure she would love that. So I stayed with Bruce and Susan Crofts last night, and they just have a lovely home and an absolutely delightful space. And Bruce and I talked quite a bit. He's just a lovely soul. I'm sure many of you know him. And he expressed concern that I wasn't in my clerical vestments, which, to be honest, I don't have any. So he said, well, he saw a picture of St. Francis the other day, and he said, I don't look anything like him. Or not St. Francis, Pope Francis, sorry. And I asked him where the local papal supply store was, and it doesn't seem to be one here. So here I am in my sweater and my Nashville boots. I hope that's okay. So I understand that y'all have been in a period of discernment, that you've had a minister retire recently, and that you're in a period of reflection and seeking to discern your identity as a congregation before you call a new full-time minister. So because I'm very unfamiliar with the UU tradition, I come with a little trepidation, and I want to speak life into this community and congregation, but I know that I'm unfamiliar, and so I figure I'll just tell you my story, a little bit about my journey, and maybe we can find some common ground there and some on-ramps to experience love and the divine together. So let's jump in, shall we? What I love about the UU as I've dug into it a little bit, and I've been very attracted to the tradition of the UU, is how just wide open it is. How anybody can find a place here. Anybody can walk in, and it doesn't really matter what you believe or what background or what ethnic identity you come from. You can come in and find peace and hope. And I've experienced that this morning. Even I just loved it. That moment of centering brought me to tears. Just absolutely beautiful. And I'm one of those many backgrounds and stories. I think that being people of welcome and kindness, this is on full display here. And I want to talk about that a little bit this morning. Living in the present, living as people of welcome and kindness, not just in this space, but as we go out into the world, shall we say, and engaging the world. And I want you to remember this term. I'll talk about it as we go. Unconditional, positive regard. Is anyone familiar with that term? Unconditional, positive regard. My wife Danny is a human development specialist, and that's sort of adjacent to therapy and counseling. And one of the most important things, perhaps the most important thing you can do as a counselor or a therapist, is to sit across from somebody, right? A lot of people think counselors give advice. Those of you that have operated in that space, that's not necessarily what you do a lot of. But what you do is you create an absolutely safe space for somebody. And your job, no matter who you're sitting across from, no matter what their baggage is, no matter what they come in the door with, is to hold them in unconditional, positive regard. I think that's so beautiful. That's how I felt today walking into this space. That's how I hope you feel in this space today. Unconditional, positive regard. If I had some slides today, I was going to try to find because visuals are big for me, I was going to try to find a picture of UPS. You'll have the United Parcel Service here. And then just swap out the S for an R so you remember, stick it in your head, because unconditional positive regard is kind of a long word. But if you can remember UPS, the brown trucks, then just swap out that S for an R. UPR, unconditional positive regard. I've noticed something about Western culture. I grew up in the evangelical tradition, and that's probably saying something even. We thought the evangelicals were liberal, let's say that. The people I grew up with, I grew up in a small town and a very small church. This probably would have been considered a mega church in the congregation I grew up in. We had about 10 to 12 people, of which 8 were my family. And I was the only piano player, the only guitar player, so I was playing piano in church from 10 years old on. And I had an absolute baptism of fire into that headspace. This headspace of dividing the world up into boxes, into lines. Some of you may be able to identify with that. The tradition I grew up in was in the holiness movement, which is kind of a grandchild of the pietist movement. So very, very everything that wasn't us, right? We talk about drawing the circle wide, right? So if this is the circle, we drew a very tiny little circle around us. We said everything that wasn't us is bad, is of the world, is of the devil. And I grew up talking a lot about the secular. And that word, even now when I hear it, it just makes me laugh because secular, it means something in the dictionary, but in the religious space, secular tends to mean out there, the stuff we don't do in here. Here's our sacred space. Here's our sanctuary. And then there's that out there. And I want to suggest that that's a myth, that the myth of the secular doesn't really exist. But I don't think this is unique to fundamentalism. I think this is something we do in Western culture. From science, we like to divide everything into our families and our kingdoms and our species and our subphylums and all these things, right? We have these demarcation lines, and we know from science that that's actually not really true. A dog and a fox are separate species, but somewhere way back in our history, they weren't. There was a common ancestor, right? They've diverged. It's sort of an artificial thing that we've done in Western culture, and religion has taken it to the nth degree to make lines and boxes. I think of science, of course, Protestantism in general, the Puritan influence in America and Canada, the Enlightenment, and then we kind of have seen its zenith in the 20th century with evangelicalism and my personal background. So we love to, as Westerners, I think, divide the world up into good and bad, black and white, sacred and secular. We see this even in the way our churches are constructed. This comes from European architecture, creating these spaces of, which is beautiful, drawing the mind up, drawing the heart and the eyes to the divine. But it also creates this idea in us that when we're in here, we're close to God. When we're out there, we're not. And that's just simply not true. Now, this might be kind of funny to you, and some of you might be able to identify with this. I was not allowed to listen to rock and roll music as a kid. So a lot of this stuff that we played today would have been of the devil, of the world. Pete Seeger, I'm sure, would not have been considered anything. We probably thought Bono was just a total heretic, because so that's the problem, right? We have the secular music, and I was only allowed to listen to Christian music, and even some of that was suspect. Because you had people like Amy Grant. Anyone ever heard of Amy Grant? So, come on. I'm taken with the notion to love you with the sweetest of devotion. So Amy was this darling of Christian music, and then she went secular. Oh no, with that song, Baby, Baby. And suddenly, people like me couldn't listen to her anymore. They're like, well, she went secular because she sang a love song that got onto mainstream radio. So we even had some of our Christian artists that were suspect. But then, of course, we have the gray areas. What do we do with the gray areas? The common ancestor of the fox and the dog. What do we do with Bono? What do we do with the Christian country singers, right? What do we do with Elvis? Did you know Elvis was nominated for so many Grammys, but he only won for his gospel album? And his record label did not want him to do it. They're like, you're crazy. No one's going to listen to us. No one's going to listen to that, Elvis. You're Elvis. Once he got famous enough, he said, I'm going to do what I want. And then that was his best-selling album. Same thing with Johnny Cash, did the same thing. What do we do with these Alan Jackson, Christian bands like Amy Grant on secular radio? I know that we are invited to something deeper as people of faith, wherever you find yourself on the faith spectrum. We're invited to something deeper. And I'm aware that as I'm talking this morning, I'm preaching to the choir, right? I'm talking to the good guys. We get it, right? We get it. We are open and inviting and affirming and welcoming and all that, right? But we're still human, aren't we? We are still Westerners. We're still children of Plato and Aristotle. And it's just in the water here. It really is. We like boxes. We like lines. It's easy. It's just easier that way to divide the world up. It's easy to embrace fear instead of curiosity. I believe this is the original sin of humanity, choosing judgment and fear over love. In the creation myth in the Bible, in the Jewish scriptures, the Hebrew scriptures, that's what Adam and Eve do. Much ink has been spilled trying to figure out, was it an apple? Was it an orange? What was the fruit? It actually says right in the text, it was the knowledge of good and evil. It wasn't a real fruit. Come on. It was the knowledge of good and evil. We said we want to be like God. We want to be the ones that make the judgment call. We want to know good and evil. Where's the line? A lot of teenagers in my church growing up, where's the line? How far do you go before you've crossed the line with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, right? Can you kiss? Well, can you kiss without feeling something? If you can, then it's okay, right? Where's the line of sin? I feel like some of you understand this a little bit too much. You're right with me. So we're the good guys, right? But it's still easy, way too easy, to see others as the other instead of seeing ourselves reflected in them, our fears and our insecurities reflected. I'm convinced that the world is not going to change from political power, from the right person being in the right position. You guys have the good guy, right? Justin Trudeau. We had the bad guy. We got a better guy now, right? In America. I won't say his name. Donald Trump. Right? The world is not going to change whether Justin's in power or Donnie is in power or Uncle Joe is in power. That's what I like to call Joe Biden. The world's not going to change based on that. The world changes, our world changes right here when we embrace love over fear. We liberals are really, really good at being right. Amen? We're really good at being right. And we're really, really good at being kind to people that we perceive as needing kindness, the marginalized and the oppressed. We're not always great at building bridges with people that are the problem, right? This is something that I deal with constantly. I've left this evangelical tradition, and Richard Rohr, one of my favorite teachers, he says, you kind of have to be overly harsh on something in order to leave it. You're never going to leave it until you just can't stand it anymore. But then he says, as you leave and as you gain distance, you might moderate your views a little bit and understand they're doing the best they can with what they have. And I want to invite us to that, to building bridges even with people that we don't agree with or we don't understand. In America, at least, I don't know how it is here, but polarization is increasing because of the silos and the bubbles that we put ourselves in. And social media's made that worse. We can surround ourselves with only people that think like us and believe like us, and it destroys the opportunity for building bridges. Because when you're sitting in the same room as somebody, I think Thanksgiving is maybe the best example of how we still can do this as a culture. You got Uncle Bob that comes over for Thanksgiving, and it's the only time you see him in the year, and there's a reason. Because my gosh, does he have some opinions that rub you the wrong way, right? When we silo up like that, we not only miss out on opportunities for conversation, but also for potential cooperation for good. I'm convinced that there's more agreement among all of us. I think most people are good. I think most people really want to see justice happen in the world, just have various ideas of how that ought to happen. And some of us, frankly, have drunk the Kool-Aid or bought the lies. But I think all of us, for the most part, really want to see justice in the world. So I don't know what this application looks like in your life. I don't know if it's Uncle Bob at Thanksgiving tomorrow, or for me, Uncle Bob at Thanksgiving in a month and a half. Sorry if you're watching, Uncle Bob. Maybe it's just a neighbor that annoys you. It's just someone you just kind of rubs you the wrong way. Someone you feel put off by. Maybe it's just the invitation to a heightened awareness of how you react to the world and to people you disagree with. Remember this, intellectual maturity does not always equal emotional maturity, right? Just because we get it doesn't mean we get it. It's one of my favorite teachers, gurus, Ram Dass. He expands this unconditional positive regard to be for all things. On one hand, we look around and things are not as they should be. On the other hand, everything is good. Everything is exactly as it should be. And the paradox of life is that we can only really affect change when we finally just accept. Isn't that strange? When we strive, when we have to fix this. Have you ever noticed that? You just try to fix it and it won't get fixed. And somehow when we let go, God bless the grass. The grass doesn't try at all. And the grass breaks through stone. Wow. That's a hard pill to swallow, though. We desperately want to reach for that tree of knowledge of good and evil. We want to be right, and we want them to be not only wrong, but bad, right? I want to leave you with this thought. Unconditional positive regard for the world, for others. And a quote from a favorite teacher of mine, Dallas Willard. He was asked once, what is the secret to being spiritually healthy? One of his sort of mentees asked him this. What is the secret to being spiritually healthy? And Dallas thought for a minute and he said, ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. And The guy asking him said, "Okay, got it. What's next?" And Dallas goes, that's it. That's it. Ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. I think those two things, unconditional positive regard and the ruthless elimination of hurry. Today is the first Sunday in a very long time. I'm a music minister at a Methodist church, so I do what Suzanne does. And I think you can attest to this. You've got a million plates spinning. You got things you got to figure out. This was the first Sunday in a long time. I didn't feel like I had to hurry. I didn't feel like I had a bunch of things to put together. And so thank you for the gift of that space. I want to share a song with you a buddy of mine in Houston wrote. And it's called Slow Me Down. I think you'll enjoy it. Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down. Help my heart to hear your sound. Speak into my life, Lord, speak now. Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down. Clear my mind, oh Lord, clear my mind. Bring me peace that I cannot find. Take my worried thoughts, break my pride. Clear my mind, oh Lord, clear my mind. And wake my soul, oh Lord, wake my soul. With this mess I've made, make me whole. Of this life called mine, take control. Wake my soul, oh Lord, wake my soul. Would you sing that with me? Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down. Slow me down, oh Lord, slow me down. Help my heart to hear. Help my heart to hear your sound. Speak into my life. Speak into my life. Lord, speak now. Slow me down. Slow me down, oh Lord. Slow me down. Slow me down, oh Lord. Slow me down. Oh, slow me down, oh Lord. Slow me down. Thanks for having me this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now is a time for our offertory. Sharing of ourselves is part of every faith. Volunteer efforts are essential, but salaries are paid and programs created by your contributions. Baskets will be passed. They're available at the back. They will be passed. For some reason I say they won't be, but they are. So we know better. Members of Neighborhood choose a variety of ways of giving, sometimes through post-dated checks or e-transfers, our authorized withdrawals. If you're online, please use the link displayed on the screen, which leads you to our donation page on our website. And in all ways, I ask you to be generous. Greeters, please bring the baskets to the front when the money is collected, and we'll pause now for the spirit band.
As the baskets are being passed, I'm going to teach you the chorus of our closing song, so we're all able to sing it together at the end. Mike, could you pull up the opening slide for us? Wonderful. Okay. This is a Pete Seeger song about cherishing our beautiful planet. I'll sing a phrase, you sing it back. One blue sky above us, one blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shore, one ocean lapping all our shore, one earth so green and round, one earth so green and round. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? And because I love you, and because I love you, I'll give it one more try. I'll give it one more try. To show my rainbow rays. To show my rainbow rays. It's too soon to die. It's too soon to die. Let's try the whole chorus, we'll sing it together. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping all our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try. To show my rainbow rays, it's too soon to die. When we invite up our greeters with the baskets to receive your generous offering. Yes.
One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try, to show my rainbow rays, it's too soon to die. Some folks want to be like an ostrich and bury their heads in the sand. Some hope that plastic dreams will unclench all those greedy hands. Some try to take the easy way, poisons, bombs, they think they need them. Don't you know you can't kill all the unbelievers? There's no shortcut to freedom. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try, to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. Go tell all the little children, tell all their mothers and fathers too. Now all's our chance to learn to share what's been given to me and you. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more? And because I love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping on our shore, one earth so green and round, who could ask for more?
If you have found love and acceptance here, if you have found home here, if you have known kindred spirits here, let this offering be a token of gratitude for our common life as we build the common good. I guess that was our closing. Yep. Lynn, will you come out, extinguish our chalice, please? To end today's service, I have a brief quote and a blessing to close. Perhaps we can form a circle, and as we are comfortable to join hands or touch a shoulder as we're ending. If we were, this is a quote from Hazrat Khan, who tells us, if one were fully awake to life, if one could respond to life, if one could perceive life, one would not need to look for wonders. One would not need to communicate with spirits, for every atom of this world is a wonder for the one who sees with open eyes. So my blessing or wish for you as you move forward today and this week, may you fully open your senses and heart to the wonders of life and love, and know a deep sense of belonging within the interdependent web of existence of which we are a part. Let us be reminded of our question to the community, which was, when have you found awe or meaning in the secular or everyday life? And I wish that you go in peace.